Alright, let's begin. So for this week's assignment, I just want to talk about really quick about last week with the bullet. There was a bit of a miscommunication. I intended to use the is key pressed function rather than the key press function. This is because I wanted to keep it in tune to the actual Centipede game where you can hold down the fire key and it will still maintain one bullet on the screen as opposed to the spam clicking one that we discussed in class. So that's why I use that function. Bit of a miscommunication in my week, but I just wanted to clarify that. Other than that, let's talk about what we had to do this week. So the main thing for this week was spawning the flea, which if I spawn the flea, it goes down a row. If I hit the flea, it will go faster and stop spawning mushrooms. If I collide with the flea, I have the death animation, and I have a keybind to respawn myself. I also did do the scorpion, so if I spawn in some scorpions, it will move across the screen and infect the mushrooms. For how I coded everything this week, I first start off with the grid. For the random assortment, we have a random chance of determining whether or not we want the grid position to be a null pointer or a new mushroom. Other than that, we have some getters and setters. We also have some code for the determining the number of place space mushrooms. This way we can make sure that we know when to spawn fleas down the road. Other than that, we have the remove mushroom and the key brush to restart the blaster. For the mushroom, we keep track of its row so that we can adjust the place space accordingly. And the mushroom image, it has two rows. The first four images, or the top row, is where all of the non-poison mushrooms are, and the bottom row is where the poison mushrooms are. So we have a boolean to determine when a mushroom's poisoned, and that tells us which row to start working on to display the mushroom's damage state. To spawn critters this week, I used a key input system with a critter spawner. For the flea, we have it pick a random column and then give itself a appropriate X position based off of that column. Other than that, it has a 2-hit behavior. So when it's not hit, it will check for when it reaches a new cell based on the size of each cell on the grid. And it will also make sure that when it reaches the new cell, it's not the last row. This is because fleas can't spawn mushrooms in the very last row. And if both of those are true, it will have a chance to spawn a mushroom. If it did get hit, it will instead just move down faster based on a speed multiplier. And real quick, because I didn't show this, for when it goes to spawn a mushroom, if a mushroom is already there, it will skip over it. So we have here, if the mushroom's not there, then spawn it. Otherwise, we have a little console message saying that the mushroom was avoided. So just real quick to show that it ignores those mushrooms. Okay, other than that, we have the scorpion next. So for the scorpion, same thing with the flea, except now we're working on rows rather than columns. Also, because there's some direction to the scorpion, we have to change the scale so that it's not moonwalking if it's spawned on the other side. And then its movement is either plus or minus depending on the side of the screen. And when it collides with a mushroom, it poisons it. For the blaster, I added the collision here for the blaster death animation. This is very similar to how it was done in the teal demo. And that's it.